I got blood on my hands right now, and I'm stumbling through the dark in the dawn. I have found new ways, but no, I can't be the one that you need.
Hey guys, it's Yaya and welcome back to my channel. Today we're making a very simple whipped mango butter using only mango butter. I know a lot of times I mix and match butters to get the perfect texture, but I really want to show you guys how you can utilize just one butter to get what you're looking for. In my previous video when I used mango butter, I also added shea butter and I added more oils to get this really nice texture because a lot of you guys want a looser texture, but the problem is more oils equal more greasy feel, and then also shea butter is heavier and more greasier than mango butter. Mango butter is naturally a little less greasy, and then it's a little harder than shea butter. It's like more of a semi-solid, and it just has this beautiful texture. In the smell, very beautiful neutral smell, so you really don't have to worry about that. I can use mango butter by itself and the smell is just perfectly fine. Okay, so let's jump right in with the making of this butter. I'm adding mango butter that I got from Oz Organics. You guys know they're my #1 company that I go to for my natural plant butters. Okay, so I'm gonna add that, and I'm just gonna add try to add a few lighter oils. I'm using grapeseed oil. You guys have seen me use this before, but I haven't used it that often. This is a very light oil. It's the perfect oil to use if you're trying to make some kind of face serum or something like that. It's a really beautiful oil to use. So I'm using some grapeseed oil that I got from Amazon, if you guys want to check that link out down below. I'm also using avocado oil. I really love this oil. I use it in almost all of my formulations. It's just a really great nutrient dense oil. However, it is not as light as the grapeseed oil. If you want something a little lighter, you probably want to try something like kukui nut oil. But as you can see, I didn't about use this whole jug. This is one of my favorite oils to use in a lot of my formulations. So yeah, let's go ahead and melt these butters down, you guys, so we can get our beautiful texture out of this. I'm just creating a double boiler. To create one, you just want to make sure that you're using a heat resistant container, and then you're going to put your butters in that, and then you're going to place it on top of another container that is heat resistant, and just add a little bit of water in there underneath so that your butters are not meeting direct heat. Some people melt down their butters, to each his own, but this is just an alternative if you're trying to reduce the amount of heat that is being introduced to your butters. You can also occasionally stir your butters so that they can melt down faster. Just a little tip there. Okay, so moving on, now that our butters are completely melted down, you want to make sure they are completely melted down so that you know everything is uniform. So you know that by it just being completely clear. Now, in some cases, some darker oils will not be this clear, but in most cases, you'll be able to at least see through, and that indicates that it has melted down fully. Okay, so I'm gonna pour this into a cooler bowl so I can place it in the freezer to solidify just a little bit faster than if you were to keep it in the same bowl that you melted down. That bowl will be warmer and it'll take a lot longer for it to freeze. So that's just a tip there. Okay, so yeah, once you place it in a freezer, depending on how much butter you have, it could vary how long you need to keep it in the freezer, so just make sure you keep an eye on it. If you accidentally keep it in there too long, that's okay. You can either remelt it down or just keep mixing it with the spatula until it becomes like a more pliable paste, and then whip it up. Although it takes longer to whip it up from this state, it's a little looser than if you kept it in the freezer a little longer. I prefer this for some reason. To me, it seems like you can get a more uniform, fluffy, silky butter. It takes longer, but I kind of like it this way. And I also like using the whisk. The tool that you use definitely will alter how your butter looks. If you use something that's a little bit more powerful, like a stand mixer, you're going to get a fluffier butter. Okay, so just keep that in mind as well. Alright, before I whip anymore, I'm going to go ahead and add my cool down ingredients. I'm adding vanilla oil, just a beautiful scent, you guys. And then I'm going to mix that with fresh mango fragrance oil. I just thought the combination of those two smell amazing. You can use whatever combination that you like, whether it's essential oils or fragrance oils. It's completely up to you. This fragrance oil I'm using came from Brambleberry. They have some really beautiful fragrance oils, and they work to make sure that it doesn't have the other extra toxins or bad ingredients in them. Okay, so definitely check them out, you guys. So now we're using vitamin E oil. This is just to help the butter not oxidize. Okay, you don't want your butters to oxidize, so adding antioxidant is definitely a plus when you're using when you're making butters. Okay, so you can see from just that time that I was adding the oils, look how it started to stiffen up. Okay, so I think it is a great suggestion to kind of let your butter sit for a while, see what the texture is, and then go back in and whip some more until you can really get that final texture that you're looking for. So I let this sit for maybe 30 minutes to an hour, and then I came back to it, and it still was very silky and fluffy. So I was really happy with it, but the problem is that, like I said, last time I added more oils and we're trying to get rid of that greasy feel. We still want that nice, beautiful texture, but we don't want that much of a greasy feel. This is where the difficulty come in. So luckily, there are ingredients out there that you can add to your butters to help reduce the greasiness feel. One of those is arrowroot powder. Arrowroot powder gives you such a beautiful powdery feel to your skin, and then also it helps the other ingredients absorb faster, reducing that greasiness that you usually get too. For example of how I use that, check out my latest video, my whipped shea butter video, okay? But today I wanted to use a new ingredient. I've been hearing about this ingredient from other formulators. It's isopropyl myristate. Yeah, I always butcher these names, but anyway, I definitely wanted to give it a try, you guys. I got it from Lotion Crafters, and one thing about it is when I added it to the butter, my butter got super loose, so I lost that beautiful texture that I've been working so hard for. So guys, different ingredients can affect your butter, so I decided to use a more powerful tool, which was my stand mixer, which I can always rely on to give me just a beautiful fluffy butter, because it just really forces in so much air. And yeah, I was really happy after that. But when I first added it, I was just like, what is going on? I'm gonna use IPM for short for this. It definitely helps to reduce the greasiness in your butters, and it also seems to help the other ingredients absorb faster. I really love the feel of it, but I definitely want to play around with it just a little bit more. But for now, I'm happy with it, okay? So these are the containers I am using. I get so many questions about these containers, you guys. I will try to list some of the vendors down below, but you guys, they always stay sold out. I use these containers for my business. I only use these for my DIYs when I have one that might have been scratched up or not as perfect as I want after inspection. So yeah, but most of the vendors, you guys, they're sold out. But I have tried to answer you guys' questions, so hopefully if I address this in this video and leave it down in the description box below, you guys can see where I answered the question, because I get it constantly. So yeah, just placing these butters into the jars. So let me be a little candid, you guys. Unless you're adding water in an emulsifier, you're never going to keep this lotion-like texture. Butters are very finicky, and it depends on the temperature, whether it melts while you're in the shower or it stiffens because your house is a little cooler, okay? All right, so moving on, I'm using buriti oil as my colorant. This is such a beautiful, rich oil, and it's quite expensive, but it provides such a beautiful color. And when you first get it out of the container, it looks like a reddish orange, but when you add it in, it becomes very vibrant, beautiful mango yellow color that I absolutely love. So just watch how much you add, okay? Because like I said, we're trying to reduce the greasiness feel. This is a heavier oil, so if you add too much, it's going to kind of offset a lot of the hard work you did when you try to keep the butter a little less greasy. So this is why I added, you know, the other one without the buriti oil and then one with the buriti oil, so that I can just kind of measure how much it kind of affects that greasy feel. You can absolutely use a mica if you prefer. Micas are more stable colorants than using natural colorants. Now, natural colorants can eventually sometimes kind of fade away, and then they also usually have a very harsh smell. Luckily, the buriti oil is one of those exceptions. You cannot even smell it. The smell is so mild, and when you mix it in with the other oils that's in this butter, you don't smell it at all. But there are other natural colorants that do have very harsh smell, like turmeric essential oil. Ew. It's just very harsh smell. So just be very careful when you're dealing with your natural colorants. You might run into situations where it just has a very assertive smell. But the berry tea oil is one exception. It definitely smells amazing. And yeah, this is the final product, guys. What do you think about this? Like I said, this will slightly stiffen because it's cooler now. We're in the winter months, so it's not gonna keep the same texture because of that, and also because we use less oils. All right, but we have significantly reduced that greasy feel that a lot of you guys was talking about. So when it comes to butters, you really have to play with it and get a ratio that really works best for you. But I'll try to do more videos about butters, especially for beginners, because you guys have a lot of questions, and I just want to make sure I answer them fully for you guys. Okay, so look forward to that. If you need the ingredients, it's down in the description box below. Check out that, and also all their information is down in the description box below. Follow me on Instagram and all that good stuff. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. That's the only way you can keep up with the videos I'm coming out with, and I have a lot more in store for you guys. Okay, trying to answer your questions, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
I got blood on my hands right now, and I'm stumbling through the dark in the dawn.